All right, let's talk about something you're probably using right now. Bluetooth. It's that invisible magic that connects our headphones, our smartwatches, pretty much everything. But here's the thing. This tech that we use every day, it has a fascinating secret. It's not actually one technology, it's two, and they both grew from a single, surprisingly simple idea.
Now this explainer is actually part 4 of a bigger 10-part series. We're getting our info from a super detailed report on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth standards. It's by the pros over at RFI Detectives, who are part of Virtualization Options LLC. For this one, we're zeroing in on Chapter 4 of their report to really get to the bottom of the Bluetooth story.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Just think about it for a second. Your headphones, which are gulping down data for high-quality audio, and your little fitness tracker, which has to sip power to last for weeks on a single charge, they both use Bluetooth. How in the world can one technology be a master of two completely opposite jobs? Well, that's what we're going to find out.
To really get it, we've got to go back, way back, to the beginning, to a time filled with tangled wires and a really simple mission, to invent the perfect wireless leash. Picture this, it's 1994, and a team at Ericsson has a mission. And no, it wasn't about streaming music or counting your steps. It was much, much simpler. They just wanted to kill the clunky, annoying RS-232 data cable. That was it. The goal was to finally cut that last physical cord tying our devices together. And in doing so, they basically invented a whole new category of tech, the Wireless Personal Area Network, or WPAN. See, while Wi-Fi was trying to cover your entire house or office, a WPAN was all about creating your own little personal bubble of connectivity. These little networks that would just form on the fly were called piconets.
But the real genius, the secret sauce, was how it managed to survive in a really crowded space. Bluetooth operated in the same 2.4 gigahertz band as the very first Wi-Fi. So to avoid a massive digital traffic jam, it did this incredible trick called frequency hopping. Imagine trying to dodge through traffic by changing lanes 1,600 times a second across 79 different lanes. It was an amazing bit of engineering, and it was done on purpose, specifically to play nice with the Wi-Fi of the time.
But as Bluetooth got more and more popular, it kind of hit a roadblock. One size just couldn't fit all. And that led to this huge turning point, a moment where the technology actually split right down the middle.
So the early days were all about one thing: more speed. Version 1 gave us those first wireless headsets. Then 2.0 gave us enough speed for stereo audio, which was huge. Version 3.0 was, well, it was a bit of a weird experiment. It tried to borrow speed from Wi-Fi, but it never really caught on. And then came 2010. Bluetooth 4.0 showed up, and with it came the real game changer, Bluetooth Low Energy, or BLE.
And listen, this was not just another minor update. The birth of Bluetooth Low Energy was basically the starting gun for the entire Internet of Things revolution. It kicked open the door for this whole new universe of tiny, battery-powered devices that could finally talk to each other.
And this right here, this is the main thing you have to understand. Since 2010, the word Bluetooth has meant two totally different things under one brand. You've got Bluetooth Classic, think of it as the Sprinter. It's built for speed, for a continuous fire hose of data to power your headphones. And then you've got Bluetooth Low Energy, BLE. That's the marathon runner. It's designed to just sip power, sending tiny little packets of data and then going back to sleep for a long time. It's the whole reason your fitness tracker can last for weeks instead of just a few hours.
Okay, so with millions and then billions of these new devices all trying to talk to each other, a really serious problem started to pop up. How do you make sure that the device you're connecting to is, the right device and not some imposter? And how do you keep that whole conversation private? This was the pairing problem.
You see, pairing is that very first digital handshake. It's that moment where two devices look at each other and agree to trust one another, and they create a secret key they'll use from then on. The security of the entire connection, everything that follows, depends completely on getting that one moment right. In the early days, the methods were, frankly, way too simple. The most common was called just works. Your headphones just connect, no questions asked. The terrifying problem with that, it had zero protection against an attacker sitting in the middle, listening in, or even pretending to be your headphones. Then there was passkey entry, where you type in a 6-digit code. Now that was a step up. It could stop an invisible attacker, but it couldn't stop a pair of eyes looking right over your shoulder.
So yeah, these old pairing methods were fundamentally broken. A hacker could literally just sit there and snatch the key exchange right out of the air. Classic Bluetooth was using this outdated, weak encryption.
The scary part is, a determined attacker could record that first handshake, go crack the key, and then they'd own your entire connection. Not good. So obviously, the old system was a huge security problem. It had to be completely replaced. The engineers had to go back to square one to create what they hoped would be a truly unbreakable handshake.
And the fix finally came with Bluetooth 4.2. It was called Secure Connections. And this wasn't just a small tweak, it was a total security transplant. It uses some heavy-duty math called elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. Now, you don't have to be a cryptography expert to get the result. It makes it mathematically impossible for someone to steal your key just by listening in. That door for eavesdropping, it got slammed shut, locked, and bolted.
You know, this whole story really highlights a pattern we see everywhere in wireless technology. It's just like how Wi-Fi security had to grow up from the totally broken WEP protocol to the super strong WPA3 we use today. Bluetooth had to go on that same journey, from a weak handshake to a really robust one. It's a constant battle, a security arms race.
And the way we see this new security in our daily lives is numeric comparison. You've definitely seen this. Your phone and, say, your new car both show you the same 6-digit number, and all you have to do is hit confirm. It seems so simple, but what's happening behind the scenes is that simple confirmation proves that nobody is secretly sitting in the middle of your connection. It's simple, and it's incredibly secure.
But security isn't just about the connection itself. It's also about your privacy. Think about your device's address like a license plate. In the old days, that license plate never changed, so anyone could pretty easily track your movements just by listening for your phone. Well, modern Bluetooth Low Energy fixed that with something called Resolvable Private Addresses, or RPAs. Now your device's license plate changes all the time, which makes it way harder for anyone to track you.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, here's your personal security checklist. First, whenever you can, buy devices that use Bluetooth 4.2 or newer. That gets you into the Secure Connections Club. When you're pairing something, if you see the numeric comparison option, always choose that one. You should be really suspicious of any device that uses just Works pairing, especially if it handles any sensitive data. And finally, if you're buying a wearable, look for privacy features like RPAs to help keep your location private.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. The Bluetooth handshake started as a simple idea to replace a cable, and it's evolved into this complex, secure protocol. But as we get ready to connect billions, maybe trillions, more tiny little IoT devices to the world, the challenge is still there. How are we going to make sure that every single one of those simple little handshakes is secure enough to be trusted?